Hi Tom, I'm Geoffrey. I've been viewing and commenting on your videos, particularly your series on exiting Mormonism, and yes, I'm finding it quite interesting, and I'm learning a great deal more about Mormonism than I recall from my studies in university many years ago, and that's great. And your recent video in particular, when you discuss the Mormon Book of Wisdom and its prohibitions on the consumption of hot drinks, tea and coffee in particular, and really struck my interest. Yes, coffee. I understood that Mormons had an alternative hot beverage to coffee called Postum, which I remember someone saying years ago it wasn't the most delectable hot beverage you could consume, and yeah, but that's that. Coffee, yes, I don't know about you, but I can't get by a day without my morning coffee, and no, without it I get a monstrous headache and end up in a very bad mood. But besides the point, I really enjoy, I get pleasure from drinking coffee, and I imagine most people do so, who consume it do so. But beyond that, I'd like to say a few words. But I mean, coffee was introduced to Western civilization in the 16th century. It was long before been an integral part of Turkish and Arabic culture, the drinking of coffee, brewing and drinking of coffee. And once it was introduced to Europe, it quickly caught on, and by the 17th century, coffee houses were springing up across the continent. And interesting thing about coffee houses is they help facilitate the transformation from Western civilization, the remnants of the old regime, of the Middle Ages, where kings and aristocrats and clergy, the church, ruled society and imposed many restrictions on thought and what you could eat, drink, and your position in society. And all this was challenged by men like Thomas Paine and Voltaire, who gathered in these coffee houses to talk over these new ideas of freedom, democracy, equality, secularism. And eventually this gave way to the revolutions across Europe and in the United States, in which personal liberty and separation of church and state has become the rule. Really, there's so much we owe to the consumption of coffee. It's interesting when you think about it. And yes, coffee is a wonderful beverage. I'm hoping that you enjoy it as much as I do. And it's a pity that Mormons choose to deny themselves this simple pleasure, and for what purpose? Because someone in the 19th century decided that God told him we're not to drink it? Well, it's all the more for us, I guess. At any rate, I'd just like to say hi again, and how much I've enjoyed viewing your videos, and I hope there are more to come. So at any rate, well, as you savor the flavor and to take pleasure in a cup of coffee, stop and think about how it actually has some relation to your decision to exit Mormonism in favor of freedom of thought and secularism. So I hope you are well, and by all means keep producing the videos, and I hope for you, as for me, life is good.